Self-created soul skill, semi-invincible, clear logic, not brainless, refusing female characters' facial makeup, Chen Feng crossed the Douluo continent and wanted to become a god, immortal. But the martial soul-breaking soul blade has innate soul power of level 5. But what about this? Open up the road, use people to wield knives. Control the martial soul and create your own soul skills. The spirit of the soul-breaking sword is the origin of the martial soul. The heavenly knife is unique to me, and it destroys the soul with its ultimate power. Years later, in the divine realm Chen Feng. Tang San, can you handle this knife? Blade out, the divine king falls. On the path to becoming a god, many female soul masters unconsciously became attracted to Chen Feng. Chen Feng looked at the admiring gazes and sighed, "It's really not my fault that it's so popular." Chapter 1. Teammate Sacrifice to Heaven, New Book for Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Starry Forest, Outer Rim. Between dense forests. Roar. A deafening roar echoed through the sky, and in front of everyone was a lion-like soul beast that was nearly 3 meters long and over 1 meter tall on its shoulders. The unique mane of a lion spreads out, and its fiery red fur appears even more majestic under the illumination of flames around its body. The muscular contours are very distinct, with a cold aura emanating from the brownish-yellow eyes. This is a flame lion king with a cultivation of 500 years, but the current condition of this flame lion king is not good. The nose bridge of the flame lion king was violently broken, its tail was severed, and a terrifying wound reached its abdomen from its left rib. Blood flowed out of the wound, wetting the earth. Around the flame lion king, there are 4 soul masters in full readiness surrounding him. At this time, the rising flame on the lion of fire suddenly condensed, and then turned into a flame light just like its body, and rushed to the tall man with an iron shield at the front of the 4. Flame Lion King's innate skill, Flame Spline Strike. I saw a tall and strong man holding a shield with 2 soul rings flashing, one white and one yellow. The shield condensed earthy yellow light and shadow, and in his breath, the shield collided with the flame clone of the Flame Lion King. The flames dissipated, and the shield of the shield holding a big man was red. The whole person was repelled by the impact of the explosion of the flames. Just when the Flame Lion King wanted to break through, a young man holding a black knife, with sword eyebrows and starry eyes, delicate facial features, extraordinary handsome, and a height of over 7 feet. Seizing the gap between the Flame Lion King's release of soul skills, the blade flashed with a sparkling light, but no soul ring lit up. Obviously, this young man had reached an extremely deep level of control over the martial soul. A knife pierced into the abdomen of the Flame Lion King. Then the figure flashed and teleported 3 meters away. As soon as the boy retreated, a blazing flame erupted from the Flame Lion King. Obviously, if the boy withdraws slowly, he may. However, the Flame Lion King's injuries have become even more severe and have reached a precarious point. The young man's deep cut into his abdomen has severely damaged the Flame Lion King's internal organs, and internal bleeding will soon take his life. Just as the Flame Lion King was in a desperate situation and wanted to rush forward and fight to the death with a few humans, a yellow soul ring lit up on a middle-aged man's body, with tendrils entwined, briefly restraining the Flame Lion King. Before long, with the cooperation of the 3, the body of the Flame Lion King collapsed to the ground. The 4 of them slowly approached, and then the average-looking male soul master in his 20s said, "All right, you protect me. After I absorb the soul rings, I will give you the final payment for your team." After speaking, the man with an ordinary appearance and suspected employer put an end to the life of the Flame Lion King, and a yellow soul ring slowly condensed from the body of the Flame Lion King. The man took out a cushion from a low-level bracelet-style storage soul guide and began to absorb the soul ring of the Flame Lion King. Just as the employer was absorbing the soul ring, the other 3 were idle and moving around the employer. The man with a tall figure and a shield as his martial soul looked at the body of the Flame Lion King, preparing to peel off his fur. Because the fur of the Flame Lion King is constantly enveloped by flames and can subtly dispel moisture, it has always been highly sought after by nobles and is of great value. Just as the tall and strong man pulled the body of the Flame Lion King from his employer to peel it off, a sudden mutation occurred. Under the peeled fur, the big man saw a magnificent red light flickering. The big man couldn't help but swallow his saliva. Quickly, the big man calmed down, covered his fur, and then turned the body of the Flame Lion King to conceal the light. Then he said to his two team friends, Li Si and Chen Feng, if you come over and help, you'll know you're lazy, right? Come over and help me peel the skin. If you don't come over, you too will take the gold soul coins sold from the animal skin. Just now, the middle-aged man who used Tang Man to restrict the Flame Lion King said, damn it, Tang San, you can't eat alone. We'll come over right now. Chen Feng's beautiful eyebrows furrowed as he looked at Tang San, who always felt something was wrong. It should be noted that in the past, Tang San was always eager to peel off the skin and secretly hid some parts of soul beasts. When Chen Feng was puzzled, his attention immediately increased a lot, and he slowly walked towards Tang San. Tang San watched as Li Si walked quickly towards him, while Chen Feng walked slowly and anxiously. Tang San is the only soul lord in the team, with soul power reaching level 32. However, his strength is simply at the bottom of the soul lord, with 1 white and 2 yellow soul rings. His martial soul quality is also average, and he can't even beat the top soul masters with the best matching of powerful martial soul rings. Tang San was extremely anxious. Among the 3-person team, the one he feared the most was Chen Feng, who had just broken through the Great Soul Master but had already reached level 23 in soul power. His soul rings were also the best match. His strength is also terrifying, and Chen Feng's heavy damage to the Flame Lion King accounts for half of the credit, making him envious, jealous, and resentful as he only broke through the Soul Lord at the age of nearly 30. Another teammate, Li Si, whose martial soul is Vine, has even worse talent than him. He is already quite old, and his soul power has been trapped at level 29, unable to move. Quickly, Li Si approached Tang San and began to take out a knife to peel the skin. Tang San just adjusted the position of the Flame Lion King, and for now, Li Si cannot see the light of his soul bone. But as the peeling progresses, it will eventually be discovered by Li Si. At this moment, Chen Feng was still walking leisurely. Chen Feng, come over and help me quickly, Tang San hurriedly said, feeling extremely anxious. Chen Feng's heart tightened as he looked at Tang San, who was urging him to hurry over. He thought to himself, what kind of devilish idea did Tang San have? If something goes wrong with Tang San later, he will strike him with a knife. Chen Feng was guarded in his heart and said with a smile on his face, I'll come over right now. Tang San looked at Li Si, who was getting closer to his soul bone position, and then at Chen Feng, who was about to reach his attack range, and swallowed his saliva excitedly. Later, taking advantage of Li Si and Chen Feng's carelessness, they launched a sudden attack and killed them. Then, they also killed the employer who had no resistance to absorbing soul rings, and the soul bones became their own. It's getting close. It's even closer. At this moment, Li Si, who was peeling, suddenly saw a bright red light and said, this is. Tang San immediately possessed his martial soul, his second soul skill was earth power, his third soul skill was iron armor shock. Tang San suddenly launched a sudden attack, with 2 yellow soul rings shining on his body. He picked up his armor shield and smashed it at the ground. A terrifying shock wave spread out 5 meters around with the iron shield, and Li Si, who was not on guard, was instantly shattered by the terrifying force of the shock, spewing out a mouthful of blood. Li Si looked at the shining and peculiar bone beneath the fur, and said the last 2 words, soul bone. Then Li Si felt a sharp pain inside his body and stared at Tang San with a greedy and ferocious expression, his eyes tightly closed, and the world plunged into darkness. Chen Feng was always on guard. As Tang San released his soul skill, he took a step back with a single arrow, narrowly avoiding it. At this moment, Tang San looked at his employer who was immersed in absorbing soul rings next to him. He clenched his armor shield and slammed it hard at his neck, causing the employer to panic. Chapter 2 Tianmeng Ice Silkworm. Don't leave, save me. You are listening at novel full.audio. Chen Feng drew his soul-breaking blade and then cut off Tang San's head with one blow. Chen Feng had no intention of leaving him with a full body for someone who slaughtered his teammates. In an instant, blood spurted out from his neck, and Tang San's body fell to the ground, staining the earth red. Chen Feng's second soul skill can be used continuously, but the cost of continuous use is doubling the consumption of soul power. Just now, after releasing the second soul skill for the second time, Chen Feng's soul power is completely depleted. If Tang San had not been in a hurry to use the third soul skill Iron Armor Shock just now, but instead held it in his hand, Chen Feng would not have dared to rashly release the teleportation soul skill to approach him. After all, the teleportation distance is only 3 meters, while Tang San's Iron Armor Shock has a full range of 5 meters. If Chen Feng teleports recklessly, Tang San's Iron Armor Shock can directly kill Chen Feng. Chen Feng frowned as he looked at the 3 corpses and the blood on the ground. Although this is the outskirts of the starry forest, it is still dangerous. Chen Feng quickly dug out the soul bone of the Flame Lion King. Just as Chen Feng's palm touched the soul bone, something in his soul was touched by the soul bone in the deep of his soul. Chen Feng saw a huge, simple and profound furnace with mysterious patterns. This furnace is the same as the ancestral small furnace that Chen Feng liked to play with most before crossing, but the furnace in the deep of his soul has become countless times larger. At the first glance that Chen Feng saw this furnace, a lot of knowledge was transmitted to his soul. The full name of the furnace is Yin-Yang Lucky Melting Furnace, which is simple to use. It is to put items into the furnace and then inject mental power. The Yin-Yang Lucky Melting Furnace will start melting. The furnace will remove the impurities of the items and retain the essence. In the past, Chen Feng had no contact with anything that could trigger a furnace reaction, so the furnace remained motionless until today when he came into contact with the soul bone of the Flame Lion King, which triggered a furnace reaction. And there is also a technique called Yin-Yang Ju that has been passed to Chen Feng's mind. Chen Feng murmured, "Did I arrive in Douluo continent because of the furnace?" Unfortunately, no one answered Chen Feng's question. Chen Feng's consciousness returned to reality, and only a moment passed. Chen Feng looked at the magnificent soul bones emitting red light in his hands, as well as his employer and teammates who had become corpses, with no sadness or joy in his heart. Chen Feng took the storage soul guide from his employer's wrist and put it on his own wrist. He then put the soul bone of the Flame Lion King and the gold soul coin on Zhang Sanli's body into it, and then rushed towards the outside of the star forest. The bloody smell here will soon attract carnivorous soul beasts, who will be the best cleaners. Moreover, the few who died were ordinary soul masters with no background, and no one would care if they died. In his past life, Chen Feng graduated from university at the age of 23. He used to enjoy reading novels after work, but unexpectedly, he was reborn in Douluo continent. When Chen Feng was 5 years old, his parents died while hunting soul beasts, leaving him alone. After Chen Feng's martial soul awakened, his martial soul underwent a mutation. My parents' martial soul is just an ordinary and extreme sword, and their innate soul power is only at level 1 or 2. When it comes to Chen Feng, it mutates into a soul-breaking sword. The blade is about 3 feet long and 3 fingers wide, with a dark body. The blade is narrow and bright, and a blood groove is faintly visible. Without any embellishments, it appears simple and solemn. After chopping an enemy, it will cause mental damage to the enemy, with an innate soul power of level 5. Breaking soul. Spirit attribute. This kind of talent, although not bad, can even be said to be quite good, has no hope of being titled Douluo in one's lifetime, and even reaching the Soul Holy Realm is basically the end. But how could Chen Feng be willing to live a mediocre life like this? He wanted to reach the peak, achieve eternity, and never die. After diligent exploration, Chen Feng walked his own path through the path taken by Ji-Juechen, a sword lover in the original work. The Royal Academy of the Sun and Moon Empire, Ji-Juechen, is a sword with an ordinary martial soul. His innate soul power is only 3 levels, and entering the sword with his soul is Ji-Juechen's cultivation method. His own martial soul has completely transformed into energy rather than entity, perfectly integrated into a meteoric iron sword from outside the sky. Man is the sword, and the sword is the human, without distinction between each other. In the end, Chen Feng summarized his experience and embarked on a completely opposite path to Ji-Juechen. Ji-Juechen was like a person, like a sword, like a person, without any distinction between them. The path that Chen Feng has taken is to use people to wield knives. As a person with extremely strong willpower, Chen Feng cannot treat knives as his entire being. The sword is me, I am still me, using an absolutely powerful spiritual will to control one's martial soul, allowing the martial soul to be freely controlled like one's own body, and perfectly controlled. After 2 years of cultivation and exploration, the soul-breaking blade was successfully assimilated and mastered by Chen Feng's spiritual power. From then on, Chen Feng's cultivation speed greatly accelerated, no less than that of a genius with innate full soul power, and his combat power far exceeded that of his peers. Then Chen Feng practiced all the way, going through numerous battles and hardships. Over the years, he had already honed his skills. As of today, Chen Feng is still 4 months away from 12, but his soul power has reached level 23. This is still because Chen Feng spent a lot of time exploring his own path, otherwise his soul power level would be even higher now. Chen Feng came to the Star Forest not only to earn some money, but also to be familiar with the terrain of the Star Forest. The purpose, of course, is for that million-year-old dream ice silkworm. This kind of opportunity will only be let go if one's mind is flooded. Then Chen Feng planned to enter Shrek College, and he had already obtained a recommendation letter from Shrek College in advance, relying on his demon-like talent. Chen Feng is fully capable of receiving strong cultivation and protection from Shrek College. Although Shrek College's teaching ability is not satisfactory, you cannot say that his strength is weak. Shrek Academy, as one of the top 3 forces in the mainland, has abundant reserves of soul bones, pills, and various tonics. Moreover, the various secret techniques taught by the Shrek Inner Academy can definitely be said to be powerful for ordinary soul masters, and the martial soul system is undoubtedly the top in the mainland. Referring to Ma Xiaodao's multi-soul skill fusion and Ling Luochen's multi-soul skill linkage instant release, as for going to the Sun and Moon Empire. Chen Feng is from the Heavenly Soul Empire, going to a hostile country. Isn't that crazy? The Empire of Sun and Moon makes the most of you. Who would do their best to cultivate people from a hostile country? Just like the Great Han Dynasty, will it fully cultivate the people of the neighboring dwarf country who will join you? Nowadays, although Chen Feng's wandering cultivation is free and unrestrained, the speed of obtaining resources is too slow, and he needs to obtain them all by himself, which greatly slows down Chen Feng's cultivation speed. The most important thing is the danger encountered during the process of obtaining resources, not to mention. So Chen Feng has made up his mind to hang out at Shrek College and get through his weak developmental period. Although Shrek College has various shortcomings, it is already the best choice for Chen Feng. As for recommendation letters, it's not difficult to handle. For many city lords, it's completely effortless to randomly compile a recommendation letter, and there's no need to spend time or effort doing anything. Even many city lords see this as a good way to profit by giving money and recommendation letters. Whether you can pass the entrance exam of Shrek Academy is not their concern. In the evening, Xinghua City. Near the White Tiger Duke's mansion, in a hotel room. Chapter 3. Spiritual Origin, Seeking Collection. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Brother, it's too unfortunate. I can temporarily get rid of those ferocious beasts. A cold chill emanated from the cracks on the ground, and the surrounding temperature began to significantly decrease. The area where the cracks appeared became larger and larger, and in a moment, they even reached a diameter of 5 meters. And the golden white light finally revealed its true face. That is a round and plump head, with a diameter of over 1 meter and a body length of over 7 meters. The whole body appears as a white jade color, crystal clear, and smooth skin without any dirt. Like a baby silkworm. Under the epidermis, there is a halo flowing, and there are a pair of small golden eyes shining on the head. Starting from half a meter above his head, there is a golden pattern that surrounds him at regular intervals. From beginning to end, there are a total of 10 golden patterns. Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm. Chen Feng's pupils suddenly contracted and he exclaimed in surprise. The hands holding the soul-breaking saber couldn't help but exert more force, and the palms with distinct joints turned slightly white due to the force. The plot has changed, the butterfly effect. Chen Feng couldn't help feeling grateful for his caution in his heart. Otherwise, following Hui Yuhao, Tianmeng Ice Silkworm could have said goodbye directly. Just as Chen Feng was feeling fortunate. The golden little eyes of Tianmeng Ice Silkworm showed a hint of anthropomorphic excitement when they saw Chen Feng. I didn't expect to encounter a human with spiritual attributes and martial souls here. So young, his soul power has reached level 25, making him one of the top geniuses among human soul masters. What's even more rare is that the physical fitness is strong enough to withstand more of my brother's original strength. It must be God who asked you to save my brother. Oh no, God asked my brother to guide you. The 10 golden halos on the heavenly dream ice silkworm's body rhythmically moved as if it had come to life. Finally, a bright golden light suddenly separated from its body, leaving only a thin layer of pale gold in place. This brilliant golden light is his original power and spiritual power. Separating them from his essence, he will never turn back. However, he had no regrets at all, and even felt a sense of relief and joy in surviving the disaster. His original plan was to find a soul master with spiritual attributes and martial souls, and actively transform them into a smart soul ring. Chen Feng, who has exceptional talent, is simply the most suitable candidate. A golden light rushed towards Chen Feng at full speed. Although Tianmeng Ice Silkworm was not good at combat, its spiritual power, which had been cultivated for millions of years, was not something that Chen Feng could resist now. At the moment when the golden light collided with Chen Feng, an extremely cold aura had spread throughout his body, even his consciousness had become blurred. 10 golden halos quickly enveloped his body, while white halos continued to surge into his body. A layer of intangible spiritual power spread outwards from Chen Feng as the original and spiritual power of the heavenly dream ice silkworm surged towards him. The terrifying spiritual power almost instantly covered every corner within 100 miles in diameter. Spiritual shock does not have much destructive power, but it can make all living beings lose their ability to think in a short period of time. My physical fitness is really good, so I can integrate more of my strength. Last day, I was blessed with my heavenly dream. What is this situation? Why can't I read my memory? In the sea of Chen Feng's spirit, his soul stands tall here. The sea of spirit is closely related to a person's soul, and can even be said to be a reflection of whether a person's soul is strong or not. Chen Feng's soul is located in the center of the sea of spirit, sitting on a throne with his back against the seat, his eyes tightly closed, and a black knife in his hand. He is indescribably unrestrained and unrestrained. Inside Chen Feng's soul, which no one could perceive, a furnace quietly burned inside. A crystal-clear silkworm baby looked at Chen Feng sitting on the seat in surprise, and couldn't help but feel a bit shocked. Just now, Tianmeng Ice Silkworm wanted to see the memory of its host and increase its understanding of the host. Who could have imagined that they were completely unable to pry into the host's memory, which surprised Tianmeng Ice Silkworm greatly. Just as Tianmeng Ice Silkworm was greatly surprised, a pair of pitch-black eyes slowly opened in a pure white space. Chen Feng sat on the throne in the Sea of Spirit, holding a soul-breaking sword in his hand, and his deep black eyes looked at the puzzled Silkworm baby. At this moment, accompanied by the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm carrying a vast and extreme spiritual source, Chen Feng's spiritual sea suddenly changed greatly, with many light spots that could not be seen at a glance, but their gaze seemed to be able to spread to every corner of this space. These golden rays converge into 10 huge golden halos suspended in mid-air, and all the light points in the space have become much larger due to their appearance. 10 golden halos began to slowly rotate, and within each halo, a milky white halo appeared. The halo grew stronger and gradually turned into 10 huge light balls floating there. The height and volume of the entire space have increased by an unknown number of times. At the same time, the floating light dots settled below, merging into a pale golden ocean, carrying the 10 huge golden white light balls. Chen Feng looked at the magnificent sea of spirit and couldn't help but marvel at the vast spiritual origin of the dream Ice Silkworm. Obviously, Chen Feng has gained great benefits. Now, Chen Feng's spiritual sea cannot catch up with even the Soul Saint powerhouse. Chen Feng tried to activate the furnace deep in his soul and found that his current strength was still too weak. The cost of activating the furnace was not something he could afford. What Chen Feng can do is to protect his soul from external invasion under the protection of the furnace. Chen Feng asked the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm expressionlessly, "The big bug that intruded into my spiritual sea without permission, won't you introduce yourself?" "My name is Chen Feng, what's your name?" For the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm, Chen Feng decided to prioritize peace. Although heavenly dream Ice Silkworm is not good at combat, it is still a million-year soul beast. When the original work and Huiyuhao were not fully integrated, heavenly dream Ice Silkworm was not a soft persimmon. A frozen and out-of-control Ma Xiaotao, relying on her molting to control the second-ranked Ice Blue Emperor Scorpion among the 3 great heavenly kings in the far north, with the strength of Chen Feng's great soul master now, she couldn't help but see the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm in front of her. Moreover, the existence of the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm definitely has more advantages than disadvantages for Chen Feng. Without the help of the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm, relying solely on Chen Feng, it is difficult for the Ice Emperor to become his second martial soul. Although Chen Feng is confident that even without a second martial soul and relying solely on his soul-breaking sword, he can still become a peerless powerhouse, with the help of the Ice Emperor, the path to becoming a peerless powerhouse will definitely be smoother. Moreover, the furnace is mysterious and abnormal, hidden deep within the body, and cannot be detected by the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm. Even if Chen Feng is found to be abnormal while using the furnace, what can a soul ring of the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm do? He is dependent on Chen Feng, and he hopes that Chen Feng will become a god. The stronger Chen Feng becomes, the happier he becomes, so that he can become a wise soul ring and live forever with Chen Feng. Who is the big bug? I am the embodiment of hero and chivalry, the king of soul beasts who values both wisdom and beauty, an unparalleled powerhouse. I have been practicing for millions of years and have created the record for the highest lifespan of the Douluo continent, the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm. You can call me heavenly dream brother, a crystal-clear silkworm baby introduced herself to Chen Feng with a radiant expression. Chapter 4. Purple Spirit Banquet. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chen Feng glanced at the delicate Tanya and stopped looking around. Taking a glance is an appreciation of beauty, it's not polite to keep staring at it. In recent years, Chen Feng has been alone outside, and his temperament is not comparable to that of ordinary people. Naturally, he will not be unable to walk when he meets a beautiful woman. At this moment, the 4 of them met head-on, and Chen Feng heard the charming girl talking to the blue-haired boy. Beibei, you're not jealous, are you? Tanya chuckled and looked at Beibei openly. Is it tiring to keep pretending to be so righteous? Xiaoya, that's called cultivation. Beibei's face turned black and he shifted his gaze to Chen Feng again. Tangya pinched her waist and said with a straight face, "Call me Teacher Xiaoya." "Okay, Teacher Xiaoya," Beibei said helplessly. Beibei looked at Chen Feng and secretly said, "Wandering alone in the starry forest. Without any teachers or companions, his strength should not be underestimated, so he should be careful and cautious." But Chen Feng's gaze crossed over the two of them and fixed on the average-looking, average-bodied, and malnourished black-haired boy behind them. Because this black-haired boy is none other than Hui Yuhao. Chen Feng's mind twitched slightly and immediately met the gaze of Beibei, who was looking at him. The two of them looked at each other, and for a moment the atmosphere was somewhat solemn. Chen Feng said, "Three of you, what's up? You've been staring at me for a while." At this moment, looking at Chen Feng's Beibei was a bit awkward. After all, it was not good to stare at others in the star forest. Especially when we are strangers, it is easy to cause misunderstandings. In the star forest, besides the already dangerous soul beasts, one also needs to be wary of humans entering the star forest. Perhaps the other party is a predator who specifically selects suitable prey to hunt in the starry forest. My name is Tangya, and the one next to me is Beibei. We are all students of Shrek College. Before Beibei could speak, the girl next to her smiled and said, "Because you're so handsome, I can't help but take a few more glances. I'm sorry for the misunderstanding." After speaking, he felt a bit embarrassed and stuck out his tongue. His cute appearance left Hui Yuhao beside him stunned. Chen Feng smiled slightly when he heard Tangya, who was lively, cheerful, charming, say that he was handsome. In an instant, a somewhat tense atmosphere became harmonious. However, Beibei couldn't help but pull at Tangya, and his gaze towards Chen Feng added a hint of vigilance. Of course, he was not hostile towards Chen Feng just because he was jealous, but rather it was a foolish thing for him to report his family in this starry forest. Under the gaze of the two, Chen Feng's smile grew even stronger. Originally, it was Sister Tang and Senior Bei. Actually, I am a new student at Shrek College this year. My name is Chen Feng and I come from the Heavenly Soul Empire. Are you a new student at Shrek College this year or are you from the Heavenly Soul Empire? Upon hearing this, Tangya's lively eyes lit up immediately. That's great. Beibei and I are also from the Heavenly Soul Empire, and we are all fellow countrymen. After finishing speaking, a few people started chatting together. Although Chen Feng chatted with Tangya and Beibei, he left some focus on Hui Yuhao. At this moment, a sudden change occurred, and a peculiar spiritual field enveloped Chen Feng and others. Tangya Bei and the other two suddenly felt dizzy. Hui Yuhao was even more unbearable, and he simply sat down on the ground. Only Chen Feng, due to his strong and resilient spirit, coupled with his soul being protected by a furnace, was not affected at all. Chen Feng's spiritual power was directly released. That's right, Chen Feng was expanded by the heavenly dream ice silkworm along with the sea of spirit, and then merged with some of the spiritual origins of the heavenly dream ice silkworm. His spiritual power has now reached the level that soul masters above the soul saint level can achieve when releasing spiritual power. Chen Feng's spiritual power directly locked onto a soul beast hidden in the forest. This is a wolf with a height of 2 meters and a body length of 3 meters. It looks a bit like a wolf, but its body size is even smaller than that of an ordinary wolf. Besides its bright purple fur, its very narrow eyes appear somewhat lewd. Especially with its short front legs, it has almost no ability to support its body. This is a purple spirit beast with a cultivation of 300 years. It is a spiritual attribute soul beast with innate abilities and weakness. It can affect the central nervous system of the target through mental fluctuations, without weakening its soul power, but can cause symptoms such as dizziness, weak feet and weakness in its body. Purple Spirit's lewd eyes were about to panic and flee when they saw a human who was not influenced by her. Chen Feng took an arrow step and teleported to Xilingban. Although Xilingban had good mental strength, his short-leg melee ability was very poor. How could he be Chen Feng's opponent? Chen Feng held onto the soul-breaking blade, and a beautiful blade pierced through the air. Chen Feng's hand swung and fell, directly inflicting a heavy blow on Zilingban. The accompanying mental damage also made Zilingban faint. At this point, Beibei and Tanya were already out of control, apart from being initially influenced by Zilingban. It's also coming towards Zilingpai to kill. However, at this point, Zilingpai had already been resolved by Chen Feng. Tanya's face lit up with joy when she saw that it was actually Zilingpai. To Chen Feng, you have dealt a heavy blow to this purple spiritual mess. Can I buy it from you with gold soul coins? Chen Feng understood Tanya's plan as he looked at her, clearly intending to give it to Hui Yuhao. Chen Feng said, since my senior sister spoke up, I'll just take it directly. But it's just a century-old soul beast, and there's no such thing as compensation. In Chen Feng's opinion, even if he didn't act on his own, this purple spirit troop was not a match for Beibei and Tanya, let alone he couldn't use it himself. Instead of letting it dissipate, it was better to use it to sell a favor. Xiao Yuhao, hurry up and take action. This purple soul ring is definitely very suitable for you. With Chen Feng's permission, Tanya waved to Hui Yuhao behind him. Thank you. At this moment, Hui Yuhao realized and thanked Chen Feng. His mother taught him to be polite when he was young. Just when facing the handsome and powerful Chen Feng, he couldn't help but feel a hint of inferiority in his heart. As a new student at Shrek College, he also needs the help of his senior brother and teacher Xiaoya to obtain the soul ring. But others can easily kill powerful centenary soul beasts alone. This huge gap made Hui Yuhao feel frustrated. Yuhao, it's up to you to absorb soul rings next. Keep your consciousness clear. Thank you, senior brother. Hui Yuhao nodded and adjusted his state slightly. Then, he used his soul power to pull the soul ring and began the first step of becoming a soul master. When Hui Yuhao absorbed the soul ring, Beibei came to Chen Feng's side, and he was no longer as vigilant as before. But due to same-sex repulsion, Chen Feng, who was even more handsome and extremely powerful than himself, became even more guarded, afraid that Xiaoya would take a liking to Chen Feng. Chen Feng smiled and looked at Beibei. What's up with Senior Bei? Chapter 5 Beibei. Relying on. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. I see that your soul power has not reached the bottleneck, and I'm curious about your purpose in coming to the Star Forest. Beibei's face wore a polite and casual fake smile. Just now, they were all attacked by Zilingban, and both he and Xiaoya were affected. Only Chen Feng had nothing to do, which shocked Beibei. Tanya looked at Beibei with a guarded gaze, feeling angry as she hugged her shoulders and said to Beibei. Beibei, what did Chen Feng come to the Star Forest for? There's no need to explain to us. Chen Feng gave us the purple spirit soul ring, and we should thank him. You're so impolite. Beibei heard Xiaoya's words and fell silent. Chen Feng really didn't need to explain anything to him. Watching the interaction between the two, Chen Feng said to Tanya Dao, Sister Tanya, it's not the fault of Senior Bei. After all, it's human nature to be cautious when we first meet in the Star Forest. Tanya heard that Chen Feng was handsome, powerful, understanding, and broad-minded. Just now, she gave her a soul ring, which immediately increased her liking. Tanya said to Beibei, Beibei, you went too far just now. Please apologize to Brother Chen. Chen Feng smiled at the interesting scene and said, Senior sister, how can we make Mr. Bei apologize? Mr. Bei is also doing it for your good. Tanya looked at Chen Feng, who was not very old but already very mature, and immediately looked at him very well. However, the more Chen Feng said so, the more Tanya wanted Beibei to apologize. Tanya glanced at Beibei. Beibei looked at Chen Feng, then at Tanya, looking at Tanya as if he wanted to do justice for Chen Feng. The elegant smile on his face couldn't be stopped, and he said with a stiff smile, junior brother Chen Feng, mine isn't mine, mine isn't. Chen Feng smiled in his heart. Little Beibei, are you still trying to talk to me? Then Chen Feng began to communicate with Xiaoya. Xiaoya heard Chen Feng's melancholic account of his parents being killed by a soul beast when he was 5 years old, relying on himself to travel north and south, honing his skills, and her eyes were filled with tears. In addition to heartache, there is also a touch of empathy. She also lost both her parents, and the foundation of the Tang clan was taken away by outsiders. For a moment, Tanya felt like she and Chen Feng were on the same boat. Looking at Chen Feng, who had only green facial features but was extremely mature, Tanya almost couldn't help but want to step forward and hug Chen Feng to comfort him. Tanya extended her slender jade hand and grasped Chen Feng's large hand with distinct joints. Everything will be fine. Later, we will take you to Shrek College in person. The elder sister will cover you, and I will beat his mother who dares to bully you. Tanya playfully compared her clenched powder fists with Chen Feng, comforting her. Chen Feng couldn't help but laugh as he looked at the lovely Tang Yaden. Thank you, Miss Xiaoya. Beside her, Beibei saw two people chatting happily, their emotions rapidly heating up, and she suddenly felt a great sense of crisis. That's it, teacher Xiaoya will be kidnapped by this little white face named Chen Feng. Beibei quickly joined the conversation between Chen Feng and Xiaoya, and Chen Feng also laughed it off. At this moment, Hui Yuhao, who was merging soul rings, seemed to have reached a critical moment, his whole body trembling uncontrollably. Hui Yuhao, who has only one level of innate soul power, has very poor physical talent. His meridians are narrow and fragile, and some of them are even mixed together. This caused Hui Yuhao to suffer greatly from the impact of the soul ring power on the blocked meridians while absorbing the soul ring. In the Sea of Chen Feng's spirit, Tianmeng Ice Silkworm said, "This human is actually a martial soul with spiritual attributes. But my talent is really poor, level 10 soul power, my talent is poor, and my body is weak. Fortunately, I met Chen Feng before, and if I followed this kid, the journey would be difficult." Holding on to my luck and choosing the right person with ease and joy, Tianmeng Ice Silkworm fell into a deep sleep again. Beibei and Tanya looked at Hui Yuhao's uncomfortable expression and felt a bit anxious. However, they couldn't help Hui Yuhao by absorbing the soul ring. If they forcibly interrupted him, Hui Yuhao might be seriously injured, and even cut off the path to the soul master. Although Beibei knew that Hui Yuhao's talent was poor, he did not expect that Hui Yuhao's talent was so poor that he could not even bear a soul ring that lasted for 300 years. Beibei couldn't help but be even more surprised by Hui Yuhao's ability to cultivate into a soul master. Beibei could imagine how hard Hui Yuhao worked and how strong his perseverance was. On the other side, Chen Feng was also silently observing Hui Yuhao. To be honest, without the heavenly dream ice silkworm, Hui Yuhao would probably not have been able to become a strong person. Moreover, it would be great if he could cultivate to the Soul King at the innate level. Hui Yuhao and Chen Feng have no grudges, just treat him as a passerby. Chen Feng sighed. When his butterfly wings fluttered, many things changed. The heavenly dream ice silkworm appeared early, and Alex disappeared. In the end, Hui Yuhao successfully completed the fusion without any danger. Now his internal condition has stabilized and he has entered a state of cultivation. Chen Feng asked Tanya in a low voice, knowingly asking, "Sister Xiaoya, it's very difficult for this young man to absorb soul rings. Is he also a new student at Shrek College?" Chen Feng is no longer called Tang Xuejie, he just changed his name to Xiaoya Xuejie. His name is Hui Yuhao. Well, he will come with us to Shrek Academy. Although his soul power is not up to standard now, our Tangmen have a spot to enter Shrek Academy without examination every year. Tanya leaned over to Chen Feng with a smile and said to him. The faint fragrance on Tanya's body is clear and audible. How about it, how about it? Our Tangmen is powerful, do you want to join our Tangmen? Tanya, as the leader of Tangmen, immediately wanted to bring Chen Feng into the sect. Xiaoya, I plan to choose to join the sect after graduation. Chen Feng clearly had no intention of joining the Tang sect, but his words were very gentle. Beibei on the side heard that Tangya was going to pull Chen Feng into the Tang clan and thought to herself, if Chen Feng really joined the Tang clan, Tangya would spend time with him day and night. No, Chen Feng would definitely not join the Tang clan. Xiaoya, since Chen Feng has said so, let's let this matter go. I believe Chen Feng also doesn't like the Tang clan today. Beibei wanted to let Tangya know that Chen Feng's move was simply not interested in the Tang clan. Upon hearing Beibei's words, Tangya was immediately saddened and obviously struck by her words. Beside her, Beibei saw Tangya feeling dejected and realized that she had said the wrong thing. At this moment, Chen Feng looked at Tangya, who was feeling dejected and sorrowful, and comforted him a few words. Soon, Tangya turned from sadness to joy, and then he ignored Beibei. Turning to talking and laughing with Chen Feng, while Beibei on the side, Tangya said, I'm very angry now and don't want to talk to him, Beside her, Beibei slapped her head and cursed herself for being foolish. Chapter 6. Demonstrations. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Beibei took a deep breath, relieved his emotions, regained his composure, and then continued to insert the topic of Xiaoya and Chen Feng. Another hour passed, and Hui Yuhao finally woke up from his cultivation. In the deep blue eyes, a faint golden light appeared, and a bright yellow soul ring rose from below. His ecstasy surged uncontrollably in his heart, jumping up with excitement and shouting, I succeeded. I have finally become a true soul master. However, looking at Chen Feng and the three of them staring at him in front of him, he finally regained his senses and lowered his head with some embarrassment. Senior brother and teacher Xiaoya, thank you. Xiaoya smiled and said to Hui Yuhao, Xiao Yuhao. This purple spirit is rare in the starry forest. If it weren't for Chen Feng, we wouldn't have been able to obtain such a good soul ring this time. You're welcome. Chen Feng smiled and waved his hand, got up, and walked to Hui Yuhao. My name is Chen Feng. I heard from Sister Xiaoya that you are also a new student at Shrek College this year, and maybe we will still be classmates. Please take care of us in the future. Hello. My name is Hui Yuhao. Please take good care of me, Hui Yuhao quickly responded, feeling a bit embarrassed. Tangya turned to Chen Feng and said, Chen Feng, this time I came to the Star Forest to hunt soul beasts and increase soul rings. If you don't mind, we'll be together. After we finish hunting, we'll go to Shrek Academy together. Xiaoya, I originally planned to hunt a few soul beasts in the outer area of the Star Do Forest, collect materials from the soul beasts, and prepare to exchange for some living expenses. If we were together, there would be some support, but then I have another place to go, so I won't go to Shrek College with you for now. Chen Feng did not plan to go directly to Shrek Academy, but planned to go to the far north first, making the Ice Emperor his second martial soul, and then go to Shrek Academy. The ultimate martial soul combined with twin martial souls will make Chen Feng the core of Shrek Academy. Chen Feng plans to stay in the Starry Forest for the last period of time. If he cannot find the remaining divine consciousness of Electrox, then Chen Feng has no intention of wasting any more time. The plot has undergone tremendous changes due to Chen Feng, a little butterfly, and he is not sure if he can meet Alex. However, currently being with Hui Yuhao and the other three is indeed the best choice. After all, the original owner is by his side. Thinking of this, Chen Feng glanced at Hui Yuhao beside him. If it's not too late, then let's go. Tangya's face was also filled with excitement as she thought of obtaining the soul ring. No soul master can resist the temptation of advancement. Chen Feng and Tangya walked ahead, with Hui Yuhao and Beibei following at the back. After possessing the first soul ring, Hui Yuhao clearly felt that his cultivation had improved a lot, especially the enhancement of his physical condition, which made him feel much more relaxed during his journey. Obtaining the first soul ring, Hui Yuhao obtained a weak auxiliary soul skill. Now Hui Yuhao is in a great mood, feeling that the sky is bluer and the grass is greener. Then I looked up at teacher Xiaoya and Chen Feng talking and laughing, and turned to look at senior brother Beibei. I found that senior brother's face no longer had a gentle smile. Hui Yuhao thought to himself, what's going on here? Why can't I understand? Tangye needed a Millennium Soul Beast, so everyone continued to delve deeper and stopped near the mixed zone, starting to explore horizontally. The mixed zone is too dangerous, and there is even a possibility of encountering a soul beast of 10,000 years, so no one plans to take an adventure. Along the way, Chen Feng released his spiritual power, forming a perceptual circle. Xiaoya, I have found the soul beast you need. With strong spiritual power, Chen Feng found a Millennium Mandala snake several hundred meters away. Tangye said happily, Chen Feng, what kind of soul beast is it? Chen Feng smiled and said, the Mandala snake has a cultivation period of approximately 1,000 to 1,500 years. Exactly right. That's great. Tangye jumped 3 feet high with excitement, her delicate face adorned with a sweet smile. Quickly, a few people rushed towards the location of the Mandala snake. The millennium-old Mandala snake has a body length of 3 meters, with a peach-red color all over its body. There is a small protrusion on its forehead, hidden like a flower. At this moment, Beibei's face was solemn. Although he was already a strong soul master, he still found it difficult to win steadily against the millennium-old soul beast. At this moment, Beibei glanced at Chen Feng. From just now on, Beibei noticed that Chen Feng's perception was exceptionally sharp, but his martial soul was a knife. Beibei speculates that Chen Feng should have a soul skill for perception, and as for the release of soul saint-level spiritual power, Beibei dare not even think about it. Xiaoya, please protect Yuhao. After speaking, Beibei took a demonstration and glanced at Chen Feng, as if demonstrating his strength. The first soul ring on his right arm was already shining, and under the intense fluctuations of soul power, a blue-purple lightning claw with a diameter of about 1 foot had already been ejaculated, shooting towards the Mandala snake. Thunder Dragon Claw, Beibei's first soul skill. The Mandala snake was very cunning. It had been coiled on the ground before, but as soon as Beibei's attack was launched, it suddenly bounced up and jumped into mid-air. Its long tail twitched in the air, instantly like a pink light, pouncing on Beibei. Beibei didn't retreat but instead advanced. While her body instantly collapsed, she took a ghostly and elusive step with her feet. In a rapid flash, the lightning dragon claw that had previously been blasted out turned in the air and chased after the Mandala snake from behind. At the same time, the second soul ring on his right arm also lit up, and countless snake lightning amplified at the same time, transforming into lightning arrows and flashing in the air. A thunderous web loomed over the Mandala snake. The previous Thunder Dragon Claw was just to make the Mandala snake move, and the second soul skill Thunder Wanjun transformed the big net into the real trap. As long as it is covered by the net, Thunder Dragon Claw can catch up from behind, and even if it cannot severely damage the Mandala snake, it can at least take the lead. However, the Mandala snake is not a vegetarian either. As the power grid closed, a pink mist sprayed out from the Mandala snake's mouth, spreading a 10-fold stronger sweet aroma than before. The lightning bolt transformed by the thunderous force was sprayed by the pink poisonous mist, as if it had been splashed with water. The power was still there, but it instantly became shattered. Chen Feng, Tangye, and Hui Yuhao quickly retreated, fearing that they might be caught in any way. Tangye's pretty face also showed a worried expression. Chapter 7. Looking from Afar. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. The Mandala snake displayed its fierce side, with a sudden thrust in the air, forcefully colliding with the power grid. Surprisingly, it knocked open a gap in the thunderous force. As it flew out, the snake's tail swayed, with a bright pink light shining at the tip of its tail. It struck on top of the chasing Thunder Dragon Claw, shattering Beibei's first soul skill. However, Beibei's attack is not completely ineffective. As one of the most powerful beast martial souls, his attack power is the highest among other soul masters at the same level. Although the mandala snake is fierce, after breaking through 2 major thunder soul skills, it also has a fine layer of lightning light on its body, and cannot continue to launch attacks after landing on the ground. Chen Feng saw that Beibei couldn't solve a mandala snake in half a day and said to Tangya, "Xiaoya, let me deal with this mandala snake." Tangya looked at Chen Feng with concern and said, "Chen Feng, this is a 1,000-year soul beast." When Tangya chatted with Chen Feng before, she knew that Chen Feng was just a great soul master. This is a 1,000-year soul beast that even soul masters have been headache-inducing. Chen Feng's lips curved into a confident smile and said, "Xiaoya, you're just a 1,000-year-old soul beast." To put it bluntly, the first soul skill of the soul-breaking saber is to sharpen the blade. With Chen Feng's superb control, the soul skill can be released without displaying a soul ring. The soul-breaking sword in Chen Feng's hand flickered with a glow as he sharpened it. At this moment, the mandala snake collided with Beibei and fell to the ground. Chen Feng moved, teleportation added teleportation. In an instant, Chen Feng came behind the mandala snake and stabbed it. Tangya saw Chen Feng, who was originally beside her, disappear, and then heard a painful hissing. Tangya's beautiful eyes quickly looked towards the place where the sound was coming from, and saw a young man with black hair, sword eyebrows and starry eyes, black hair dancing wildly, holding a black knife, appearing domineering and powerful. There is a large piece of pink snake meat on the ground. The abdomen of the mandala snake, which hissed, was filled with blood gushing out. Although teleportation is a divine skill, it takes time for Chen Feng to teleport behind the mandala snake and perform actions such as wielding a knife and chopping. Chen Feng's knife was originally intended to strike at the 7 inches of the snake, but the mandala snake twisted its body to avoid the fatal blow. But the subsequent mental damage from Chen Feng's knife drove the entire mandala snake crazy. The spiritual power of the soul beast was already weak, and with this strike, Chen Feng almost chopped the sea of mandala snake spirit to pieces. Chen Feng held the soul-breaking blade in his hand, and the sunlight shone on the blade, reflecting a cold light. At this moment, Chen Feng swung another blade, and the soul-breaking blade cut through the air, emitting a cold and powerful aura. The blade flickered in the sunlight, as if beating its own life melody. The beautiful blade light flashed through, and the upper body of the mandala snake flew out. Chen Feng's eyes were like a cold winter lake, calm and cold. At this moment, Tangya watched as Chen Feng's handsome sword cut off the mandala snake, and her beautiful eyes suddenly showed a brilliance. And Beibei was completely stunned, rubbing her eyes in disbelief. "Are you the Soul Lord or am I the Soul Lord?" The soul-breaking knife in Chen Feng's hand was stained with red blood. Chen Feng shook his hand with the soul-breaking knife, and the blood formed a bloodline on the ground. Hiding at the end, Hui Yuhao couldn't help but swallow his saliva. He was so strong, really strong. As Hui Yuhao looked at this powerful and mature peer, his eyes were filled with longing. If he had such talent and strength, in fact, Chen Feng was also caught off guard. The mandala snake was not on guard against Chen Feng. It first clashed with Beibei, and Chen Feng suddenly teleported to launch a surprise attack. In addition, the spiritual power of the soul beast is too weak to be restrained by Chen Feng's soul-breaking sword. Otherwise, a soul master of the same level would not be easily solved by Chen Feng. Of course, Beibei and Tangya didn't know Chen Feng's background. They just saw Chen Feng swish and brush, and then cut down the mandala snake. Looking at the crowd in a daze, Chen Feng smiled and said, "Xiaoya, don't you need the soul ring of this mandala snake? Hurry up and take action." Tangya, who had reacted, glanced at the breathless mandala snake and quickly killed it. A purple soul ring slowly rises from the mandala snake. She couldn't help but cheer and threw herself at Chen Feng, giving him a big hug. "Thank you, Chen Feng." "Xiaoya, you're welcome. We're all students from Shrek College, helping each other out." And you're like this, sister. Chen Feng chuckled lightly, his eyes calm, and he didn't make any unnecessary movements. Although Tang Ya's is not as full and mature as her older sisters, her lively and charming appearance is also very attractive. Upon hearing Chen Feng's words, Tang Ya blushed slightly and quickly got off Chen Feng, coquettishly saying, "No, I treat you like a younger brother. You can't have any ulterior motives towards your senior sister. Xiaoya, prepare to absorb the soul ring." At this moment, Beibei walked over with a cold face. Chen Feng's face remained unchanged and there was no turmoil in his heart. He looked at Beibei with an unnatural look at himself, only giving him a slight smile. If Beibei's gaze changed her color, then Chen Feng would have lived in vain these years. If it weren't for wanting to try whether he could wait for Electrolux by Hui Yuhao's side, Chen Feng would have gone to the far north long ago. Where would I stay in this starry forest to waste time? At this moment, Tang Ya sat cross-legged and began to absorb the third soul ring of the mandala snake. Beibei looked at Chen Feng's calm and serene gaze, feeling like she had lost for the first time. In terms of character and appearance, even in terms of strength, Beibei has no confidence in defeating Chen Feng. In addition, being several years older than Chen Feng, Beibei couldn't help but be greatly affected. Hui Yuhao, with a simple heart, looked at Chen Feng and Beibei in confusion. But what he cares more about is the strength that Chen Feng has shown before. Beibei was jealous in his heart, but he also knew that Chen Feng had never taken the initiative to offend Xiaoya from beginning to end, and they had killed the mandala snake with Chen Feng's help, accepting Chen Feng's favor. Instead, it was Xiaoya's repeated initiative. After reflecting for a moment, Beibei said to Chen Feng, "It's because of my imbalanced mentality. I want to apologize to you and thank you for your help. I accept your kindness." Beibei looked at Chen Feng with a refined smile on his face. Chen Feng looked at Beibei with a slight surprise. If Chen Feng had seen Beibei more of an old man playing with a mischievous child before, it was a crush of maturity on immaturity, but now it has been given more attention. Unfortunately, that's all, and it's just enough to make Chen Feng take it seriously now. In the future, Chen Feng will step onto the high-speed train and move forward at full speed. All his peers will only be able to look up at Chen Feng's back, until they can't see him from afar. Chapter 8. Extreme North, Seeking Collection, Investment, and Follow-up. You are listening at novel-full.audio. Chen Feng smiled and said, "Senior Beibei is too serious. We are all classmates, just helping each other." After Tang Ya began to absorb soul rings, the atmosphere between the three became much more dull. Beibei and Hui Yuhao are both curious about Chen Feng's strength, but of course, Beibei is more guarded. Obviously, Beibei has already regarded Chen Feng as a rival in love. But on the first day we got to know each other and explored their strength. This is too inappropriate. With the absorption of the power of this Millennium Mandala Snake Soul Ring, Tang Ya's whole body seemed to suddenly grow up a bit, with fair and shiny skin, and a better figure, approaching an adult figure from a teenage figure. The aura is also much stronger than before, and the bonus of 1,000-year soul ring to a soul master far exceeds that of 100-year soul rings. However, this also requires more time to absorb the Millennium Soul Ring. In this starry forest, there are many dangers. During this time, Beibei and Chen Feng protected Tang Ya and drove away several soul beasts, but fortunately, no Millennium Soul beasts came to invade. 2 hours later, Tang Ya took a deep breath, and the Millennium Soul Ring was successfully absorbed by Tang Ya. Tang Ya finished sitting cross-legged, stood up, stretched his waist deeply, and his eyes were bright. His entire spirit had greatly improved. In Douluo continent, level 30 is an important threshold. Soul masters with weak innate soul power may never be able to cross this threshold in their lifetime, and once they do, they are not considered low-level soul masters. I have successfully broken through to the Soul Lord. Tang Ya cheered excitedly, and 3 soul rings, 2 yellow and 1 purple, appeared beside her. Beibei smiled and said, Xiaoya, congratulations. Hui Yuhao said, Teacher Xiaoya, congratulations on breaking through the Soul Lord. Chen Feng said, Xiaoya, congratulations. There must be no problem completing the grade assessment for entering 4th grade now. Tang Yamei's eyes were full of excitement. After speaking to Chen Feng, thank you. Beibei coughed and said, alright, since Xiaoya has absorbed the soul ring of the mandala snake and broken through to the Soul Lord, let's quickly leave here. The Star Forest is still too dangerous, and there may be powerful soul beasts appearing at any time. The 4 people followed the route of their arrival and quickly moved towards the outside of the Starry Forest. Along the way, although we also encountered several soul beasts, they were easily solved by Chen Feng and his team. After all, most of the peripheral soul beasts were century-old soul beasts, which were vulnerable to a single blow in the hands of Chen Feng and his team. After an hour, they finally left the range of the Starry Forest and continued to run for dozens of kilometers. After a series of twists and turns, the moon in the sky had already hung high in the sky, with a bright moonlight covering the earth, and everything was covered in a layer of silver veil. A few people came to a small stream for the convenience of resting. Especially Chen Feng, who has been exploring the Starry Forest for a long time, his body has become quite tired. The most important thing is that Electrolux is nowhere to be found, which makes Chen Feng quite helpless. However, Chen Feng quickly adjusted, and since he had already done his best, there was no need to complain. Chen Feng entered a small stream in the distance to wash himself up. His soul power shook and dried the mist on his body, then he changed into a clean outfit from his storage soul guide. As for old clothes, just throw it away, the whole outfit only costs a few yuan. Tanya cheered and came to the side of the stream, picked it up in her palm, took a few sips of the stream water, and then washed away the dust stained in the Starry Forest. Beibei and Hui Yuhao also cleaned it with stream water. Hui Yuhao came to the side of the stream, and with his exceptional eyesight, he saw the fish shadows swimming at the bottom of the stream. Surprised, he said, Teacher Xiaoya and senior brother, there are fish here. Do you want to eat grilled fish? If you want to eat it, I'll just grab a few grilled ones. Eat and eat. It's a light rain. Tanya's eyes lit up as she couldn't help but drool involuntarily. Hurry up, Yuhao. This time Beibei and I will help you catch fish, and you can be responsible for grilling. Yuhao, your grilled fish is really delicious. As soon as Chen Feng, who had just finished washing his body, returned here, he found Hui Yuhao grilling fish. The fragrance of fish has been transmitted from a long distance. Chen Feng thought to himself, this time we can try Hui Yuhao's highly praised grilled fish technique. Hui Yuhao used a white tiger dagger to scrape off the scales of several cleaned fish, clean their internal organs, and then used the sliced branches to thread them through and start a campfire. He leaned against the campfire and slowly flipped the fish back and forth. Not long after, the fragrance of fish began to diffuse around the campfire, with a strong aroma. The snow-white fish meat gradually turned golden yellow, and the oil on the fish body covered the meat, which was particularly tempting. Hui Yuhao handed the first batch of grilled fish to Chen Feng, Tanya, and Beibei respectively, and then continued to grill the remaining fish. This grilled fish is so delicious. Tanya's mouth was full of oil. Why did I bake it myself? The difference is so big. Beibei said, Yuhao, your grilled fish is comparable to those top chefs. After eating it, Chen Feng said, the taste is good. Hui Yuhao felt embarrassed and rubbed his head, saying, it's not difficult, as long as you grasp the heat and the timing of adding seasoning. After eating a fish, Chen Feng said, this is quite a test of talent. Yuhao's talent is very good. Chen Feng's words made Beibei and Tanya nod uncontrollably. After listening, Hui Yuhao couldn't help but feel a bit shy and touched his head. In addition to Hui Yuhao's grilled fish, Chen Feng and his companions also picked some wild fruits from around, hunted a few small animals, and ate some dry food. After Tanya was full, she immediately fell asleep. Hui Yuhao, on the other hand, endured both physical and mental fatigue and began practicing the Xiantian Gong that Beibei had taught him yesterday. Finally, only Beibei and Chen Feng stayed up late, taking turns falling asleep. When he fell asleep, Chen Feng asked the heavenly dream ice silkworm in his mind to help him guard, and then Chen Feng fell asleep with peace of mind. The next morning, Chen Feng and Tanya rushed towards the far north. Chen Feng had already discussed with Tianmeng ice silkworm in his mind and went to the far north to persuade the ice blue emperor scorpion. Don't worry, Chen Feng. Just leave everything to me, ha ha ha. Heavenly dream ice silkworm said excitedly in the sea of spirit. On the outskirts of the far north, Chen Feng wore the remains of the heavenly dream ice silkworm on the outside, a flame lion king animal skin coat on the inside, and a warm bear skin hat on his head, continuing to move towards the core. Chen Feng knows the cold in the far north, and he doesn't want Hui Yuhao to suffer from the cold like in the original work. Chen Feng, as long as you win this bet, you will become the strongest genius in the history of Douluo continent. Tianmeng ice silkworm said to Chen Feng in the sea of spirit. Our destiny is one, and in the future, I will become a god, and you will live forever with me. Chen Feng's gaze was unprecedentedly firm. Lead the way, heavenly dream, I will reach the peak. Chen Feng strode forward. Alex will write later on. Chapter 9. Ice and Blue Emperor Scorpion, Seeking Collection and follow.up reading. You are listening at novel full.audio. The heavenly dream ice silkworm in the sea of spirit suddenly became excited as she listened to the phrase, reaching the peak. Becoming a god. Becoming a god. Getting to the pinnacle. Immediately began to cry and howl in Chen Feng's spiritual sea. Chen Feng ignored the excitement of the heavenly dream ice silkworm in his mind and silently moved forward in the cold far north. The core area of the Arctic region. Chen Feng used his soul-breaking knife to create a small ice house around him, keeping it warm inside. Chen Feng is currently having a conversation with Tianmeng ice silkworm. Chen Feng, I will mobilize my spiritual source to attract the Ice Emperor later, then temporarily trap him with his molting, and find a way to persuade her. Based on my understanding of her, she is nearing the limit of 400,000 years and she cannot pass it. In order to survive, she is likely to agree to become your soul ring. Even if I don't agree, I still have the ultimate life-saving measure to teleport you hundreds of kilometers away. Chen Feng said calmly, let's start, heavenly dream. Since everything is foolproof, there's no need to worry about anything. Tianmeng ice silkworm looked at Chen Feng calmly and without any nervousness, and couldn't help but be surprised. You should know that this is the Ice Emperor, who has been cultivating for nearly 400,000 years as the three heavenly kings of the far north. Even he was extremely excited, but Chen Feng's calm demeanor was what a strong person should have. Tianmeng ice silkworm felt like she was pressing against the right treasure. Such a young man couldn't become a god, and there was no second person in the world who had the ability to become a god. Tianmeng said, Chen Feng, then I'll start. Tuan Jin Guang emerged from the sea of Chen Feng's spirit, which is the spiritual origin of Tianmeng ice silkworm and also the core strength of Tianmeng ice silkworm. The 9 golden rays condensed and compressed, then transformed into a golden figure. At this moment, Chen Feng can clearly feel the power of the heavenly dream ice silkworm, which is the strongest spiritual power in Douluo continent. The power of this spirit can even change the celestial phenomena. The heavenly dream ice silkworm felt its powerful power, and the spiritual power spread out towards that extremely distant place. Ice Emperor, I'm back. Come and welcome me, I know you can hear me. Tianmeng ice silkworm originally wanted to make some coquettish jokes, but when the words reached her lips, she held them back. After passing the word, Tianmeng ice silkworm protected Chen Feng with its own spiritual power, even covering up its breath. Avoid waiting for the Ice Emperor to see Chen Feng and cause damage to him. Then the heavenly dream ice silkworm waited quietly, but it didn't believe that the Ice Emperor could resist temptation. Brother is the strongest ice silkworm on the continent. Eating oneself will surely greatly enhance the strength of the Ice Emperor, and the next calamity will no longer be a problem. So Tianmeng Ice Silkworm calmed down and waited quietly for the Ice Emperor to enter the trap. The golden light on Tianmeng Ice Silkworm's golden spiritual body shines even more as she thinks her plan is about to succeed. The snowy sky in the far north has become the backdrop for this golden light. Soon, a terrifying aura approached. The sky in the far north suddenly became stormy and snowy. The white clouds were suddenly rendered emerald green by the terrifying animal shadow. A beautiful ice green two-color scorpion, 1.5 meters in size, descended from the sky and said to the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm. Heavenly Dream, you lucky guy, you're still alive. Why, come to the far north, are you going to be eaten by me? A crisp sound sounded from the sky, and the thick snow layer in the far north lifted up 10 zhang high. Only the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm remains calm within a diameter of 100 meters around its body, with its massive spiritual power guarding everything around it. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm was interrupted by Chen Feng as soon as she gave a few words about licking dogs. Chen Feng said to Tianmeng Ice Silkworm through the spiritual chain link, Tianmeng, if you have more, after success, you can say as long as you want. Now is not the time to talk nonsense. Tianmeng said, cough, 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 cough. The Ice Emperor looked at the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm and suddenly had a bad premonition in his heart. Soul beasts at the level of the Ice Emperor had a strong sense of danger. But with confidence in their own cultivation and disdain for the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm, the Ice Emperor did not turn around and left. Because the Ice Emperor needed to eat the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm before he could survive the 400,000-year calamity that was about to come. If the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm is not eaten this time, the Ice Emperor knows he will definitely not be able to pass it. The clear voice of the Ice Emperor rang out, Heavenly Dream, I don't care why you came to the far north, but today I will eat you and die for you. As soon as the words fell, the Ice Emperor rushed towards the golden Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm. Carrying the terrifying ultimate ice soul power of nearly 400,000 years of cultivation, I want to kill the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm. Just as the Ice Emperor was about to encounter the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm with full confidence, a sudden mutation occurred. Because the golden body of the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm has actually become ethereal. The golden figure suddenly transformed into a terrifying and endless spiritual force, as if the vast and boundless spiritual force of the vast ocean had plunged the Ice Emperor into it. The Ice Emperor was quite shocked in his heart, but he was not panicked. His emerald green eyes shone like jewels. Heavenly Dream, isn't it good to die obediently? Struggle. You're looking for death. How dare you use your spiritual power like this? I'll see how you can return to your true self, and even if you try hard, you can't change the fact that you're a waste. How long can you trap me? 1 second or 2 seconds? Tianmeng Ice Silkworm looked at the disdainful expression of the Ice Emperor on her face and didn't take it seriously. She licked her dog and said, just waste it, don't worry. 1 second is already enough. Tianmeng immediately controlled his million-year-old decay to emerge from the ice house. A faint white light film transforms into a cage, firmly binding the Ice Emperor. The Ice Emperor was greatly surprised, and his keen perception made him realize that the white light film was very dangerous. He wanted to struggle not to be bound by the white light film, but unfortunately, at this moment, the Ice Emperor was bound by the spiritual power of the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm, unable to move, and was directly enveloped by the white light film. After being enveloped by a white light film, the Ice Emperor suddenly twisted wildly, his soul power surged, desperately releasing his soul skills, wanting to tear apart the light film on his body. Soon, the Ice Emperor discovered that his nearly 400,000-year cultivation could not break through the white light film. The feeling of bondage is growing stronger at an astonishing speed, pressing down on the body of the Ice Emperor and making a sour gurgling sound. No matter how hard the Ice Emperor struggles, he cannot break free from the bondage. The crystal-like front claws of the Ice Emperor were gradually suppressed, and the raised emerald green tail hook was also pressed tightly against the body. This Ice Emperor, one of the 3 great heavenly kings of the Arctic, was so tightly bound. I don't believe it, Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm, you useless person. No, no, this is impossible. Heavenly Dream, how could you, such a useless person, bind me? Heavenly Dream, have you broken through 1,000,000 years? The golden light converged, and Tianmeng Ice Silkworm watched as the Ice Emperor was restrained by herself, with a faint smile on her face. Chapter 10. Creating Gods. You are listening at novel.Audio. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm lifted her right hand and pointed at the Ice Emperor. In the flickering golden light, the Ice Emperor's body disappeared out of thin air. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm looked up and sighed, I didn't expect that after losing my body, I would be able to use this huge spiritual power. Unfortunately, this is my only chance. A thin layer of white light film reappeared in the air, and the Ice Emperor had been taken into the Sea of Spirit by the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm. The white light film slowly drifted down to the ground and re-penetrated into the ice chamber, covering Chen Feng's body. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm said, Chen Feng, the Ice Emperor is trapped by me. Brother, are you amazing? Worship brother. Next, as long as you convince the Ice Emperor, the plan will be successful. Chen Feng looked at Tianmeng Ice Silkworm with a proud expression, begging for praise, and smiled, saying, You're amazing. You're amazing. There was so much commotion just now. If we attract other powerful beings, our previous efforts will be ruined. You guide me, and I'll run with all my strength. Hee. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm smiled and said, I'm too happy. Chen Feng, hurry up and run. Chen Feng ran at full speed towards the far north, and then Tianmeng Ice Silkworm guided Chen Feng along the way while excitedly telling him about his dog-licking career. It took Chen Feng 3 hours to finally run out of the far north, where he was basically safe. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm said, Chen Feng, it's right here. I just checked and it's relatively quiet within 100 miles, with no soul beasts around. Chen Feng stopped and said to Tianmeng Ice Silkworm, Tianmeng, how long can you still trap the Ice Emperor? Tianmeng Ice Silkworm proudly said, it's easy to be trapped in the Ice Emperor for a few more hours. Chen Feng said, let's release the Ice Emperor and have a good conversation with her. I believe he will make the right choice. Chen Feng felt that after the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm separated from his body, his spiritual imprint further merged with himself. From now on, he was truly just his vassal and could not unleash the powerful ability that has changed the world today. A golden light cluster emerged from the sea of Chen Feng's spirit. At first, it was just a golden light spot. Gradually, this light spot expanded and in an instant, it became a light cluster with a diameter of about 1 meter. With a flash of light, a scorpion figure emerged from the golden light cluster, and in the next moment after it emerged, the golden light cluster in the air also disappeared. This scorpion is naturally the Ice Emperor. The Ice Emperor has just emerged and wants to go berserk. But before she could take any action, she was once again trapped by the shedding of the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm, unable to struggle to open it no matter how hard she tried. The transformation of the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm is the result of his millions of years of cultivation. With the terrifying power and soul power of the Ice Emperor, it is evident how resilient he is. At this moment, Chen Feng stood on the side, his deep black eyes staring at the scorpion with a cultivation of nearly 400,000. Meanwhile, the Heavenly Dream Ice Silkworm on the side felt a little proud and said, Ice Emperor, don't struggle anymore. You have tried it many times and should know that it's useless. Roar, roar. She burst out laughing proudly. The Ice Emperor said coldly, Heavenly Dream, don't think that your skin can make me helpless. After I get out of trouble, I will definitely kill you and devour you to restore my original source. Heavenly Dream Lick said affectionately, if I still retain my original power, then I will definitely be willing to dedicate all of my life to you. Unfortunately, I can only exist in a spiritual and physical state now. If it weren't for extreme luck, would have dissipated into the heavenly calamity before you, Ice. What? The Ice Emperor exclaimed in disbelief. Can the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm, with millions of years of cultivation, still withstand the heavenly calamity? It may sound unbelievable, but upon closer examination, it is only natural. Soul beasts, if not converted into adults, will eventually die in the calamity of heaven. Alas, fortunately, I met Chen Feng at the last moment of escaping from the Star Forest, who is also my current master. The Ice Emperor exclaimed in surprise, what? Heavenly Dream, you actually believe that humans are the main beings? Are you crazy? Tianmeng Ice Silkworm said, Ice Emperor, I'm not crazy. I'm glad, Ice Emperor. Soon, you will know how wise my choice is. Then Tianmeng Ice Silkworm began to recount her tragic experience of leaving the far north. The heavenly dream Ice Silkworm used its self-proclaimed most tragic voice to narrate its own experiences. You also know how terrifying the limit is for us. You also know that there is no soul beast in this world that has lived longer than me. Even if I am just a waste in your heart, I am still an old waste that has lived long enough. My energy has basically been absorbed by them, and I can't cross the next limit anymore. Although I have lived for so long, I don't want to die. I believe you are the same. I can feel that in less than 100 years, your limit will come again. Ice Emperor, do you think you can pass it? The Ice Emperor fell silent, knowing that she could not withstand the next calamity no matter what. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm saw the Ice Emperor and remained silent, saying, whether it's you or me, we don't want to die. We've lived for so long, how can we be willing to become a pile of dust? So, I came up with the best way. The story of the heavenly dream Ice Silkworm finally caught the interest of the Ice Blue Emperor Scorpion, who almost instinctively asked, what method? Tianmeng Ice Silkworm said in a deep voice, create a god. The god of creation. Ice Emperor was taken aback and immediately became even more curious, what god of creation? After drawing the plan of creating gods and the immortal pancake for the Ice Emperor, Tianmeng Ice Silkworm recommended Chen Feng to meet him. Tianmeng Bingchan said, Bing Bing, have you seen this? This is the strongest genius on the mainland. He is also my master, Chen Feng. If someone really becomes a god in this era, then it is destined to be my master, Chen Feng. The Ice Emperor looked at Chen Feng. His soul power was at level 25, making him one of the top geniuses among humans, his spiritual power surprisingly surpassing the level of Soul Master. It's so terrifying that it's unbelievable. The physical strength is also excellent, and it is easy to absorb soul rings beyond the level. Heavenly Dream, is this the host you have chosen? It's amazing talent. I think it's not a problem to grow to the extreme Douluo with his talent, but becoming a god is too difficult. She also agrees that Chen Feng's talent is amazing, but after all, it is a god of creation. Tianmeng Ice Silkworm earnestly continued to persuade the Ice Emperor, Ice Bing, my body was almost on the verge of collapse at that time. You also know how rare spiritual soul masters are. Meeting Chen Feng was already my great fortune. And with my help in cultivating Chen Feng's spiritual power, and you endowing him with the ultimate ice martial soul, the chance of our plan's success is much higher than twice when we work together.